The North Must Remember, Episode 5 review, videos 40 through 52. So we're about halfway through the episode reviews right now, and being 9 episodes total, right? So this will be a review of number 5. So I wanted to show the travel throughout the North to White Harbor, and to show all of our characters are still in danger. A lot of the plot lines have been condensed, which makes traveling very difficult from a writing perspective, because I can't shoot to a different location in a different plot line, because all of our characters have condensed so much. As we saw in Season 8, I mean, there were only, in the show, only 3 different settings, Winterfell, Last Hearth for a minute or two, and then King's Landing. So it's very difficult from a writing perspective to be able to show that travel time. So people aren't teleporting. We just have to move from storyline to storyline a little bit quicker. So I showed that with the first 3 videos, with them traveling and different characters meeting up and things like that. So we'll get right into it. So video number 40, Sandor and Sansa meet up with other major characters. Osmond finds out that Theon was killed, right? And he never got to meet his son. That was, I think, important because it shows the tragedy of Theon's overall character, and a little bit of a punch in the gut for the audience. Nothing too much in video 41. Video 42, Jon is convinced, or finally reveals to the audience that he is convinced that the White Walkers will not actually kill him. This ties in a little bit of foreshadowing for future events, and we'll see what happens there. Gets more into that storyline around episode 7. Dead Ed dies before Jon arrives. I wanted to have a character death on the road to White Harbor, so it shows that they're still under threat. They're just not having a happy-go-lucky trot down to White Harbor. They're moving under threat of fire, right? So that ominous, consistent threat is still there as they travel. Video 43, we get reintroduced to Melisandre and Daario Naharis. So as we knew, Melisandre left during Season 7 and went back to Essos. I wanted to reintroduce her character, but there had to be a reason she went to Essos. So she went there. There was a lot of fan theories about coming back with the fiery hand. For the book people know who that is. Show, not so much. So if you want to know about that, go ahead and read the books. So she checked out Meereen, got in touch with Daario, and enlisted his service. So Daario left Meereen against the Queen's orders, but I'm sure she doesn't mind, although it will get a little political here very soon. Video 44, Theon's son becomes common knowledge. Jon winds up legitimizing him, and Gendry starts discussing his ability to reforge Valyrian steel. Video 45, Jorah reaches the flagship and gifts Dany leather from Viserion's wing that was amputated, for lack of a better word, during the Battle for Winterfell. He realizes Dany's cut off all of her braids. I really, really like that scene. It wasn't actually my idea. It was a family member that actually suggested that. But I'm glad they did, because it worked out really, really well. They discussed Grey Worm's death for a minute or two. It was kind of a personal rule of mine that after a character's death, that they're mentioned at least one additional time. That's true for Grey Worm, Tormund, Podrick, Theon, quite a few times. Every character death, I want them to be discussed at least once more, so it can show not just their life, but also how they died and its effect on typically the characters closest to them. That really should help drive the story forward, because if a character dies and doesn't contribute to the rest of the characters and their plot forward, I mean, what was really the point? Alright, so video 46, Tyrion realizes that Varys might have something to do with the Cersei informant. Whether he assumes it's Varys directly, Varys talked about it so openly. I don't think Tyrion is convinced it's Varys, but the fact that he has something to do with it, whether knowingly or unknowingly. Video 47, Jon meets, I already touched on this, meets Theon's son, naturalizes him, holds a war council. Jon is actually critical of his own decisions. So he's starting to doubt his own decision making, because time after time when he makes these really vital decisions, typically it comes back to bite him in the ass. So I think he's really trying to elicit ideas from other characters, not necessarily those who are warriors, maybe those who are a little more political and can kind of think outside the box a little bit. So it kind of just shows the desperation of Jon at this point. He briefs that Dragonglass can't kill the Night King, and Jon discusses the Iron Throne plan with Dany, and she is surprisingly supportive, right? So that also shows Dany's maturity level to the point of this extinction level event that they have on their hands is more important than personal gain, titles, dynasties, legacy, so on and so forth. All right, video 48, Cersei executes Strickland based off her informant's information. Actually, probably shouldn't say that. It doesn't necessarily have to be the informant, because Qyburn was already kind of sniffing around the fact that Jon had Blackfire. So Varys noticed that Jon had it. Varys could have passed that information on to another person or directly over to King's Landing. Actually, I guess I can just go and bring it up, because if you're watching this, you already know who the informant is, now that I think about it. Alright, so video 50, Varys experiences an attempted assassination. I think we all know who that was at this point. Video 51, Dany briefs an incursion to the Red Keep. Pretty cut and dry. Alright, so video 52, the closeout. So Jorah flushes out Daario and shoots his messenger raven out of the sky. Daario has already sent word to Cersei prior to the briefing, so Cersei knows they're on their way. Jorah then kills Daario in a duel, but Daenerys doesn't actually know that Cersei's expecting him. So that kind of closes out a bit on a cliffhanger there. Our main characters are flying 2 dragons to the Red Keep in an attempt to melt the Iron Throne to retrieve some Valyrian steel. So that's kind of where video 5 closes out. Alright, so we'll go to some comments on video 5 here real quick. Ty has been giving a lot of comments lately. Hey, I appreciate that. Earl is back. I'm pretty sure she was referring to the Red Woman. Yeah, she makes her appearance. It kind of sucked leaving her out of the first, God, what was it, 4 episodes? But I think her appearance here in episode 5 was very unexpected, as well as what she's been doing in the meantime, bringing Daario back to kind of add a different layer of political intrigue in the face of all the forces they're fighting right now. All right, yep, love the braids on the floor. Yeah, me as well. I really thought that was a great scene. Very unexpected that how Dany would respond to her first loss in a battle, because she's never done that before. She's always just walked in and kind of taken over. Ilyn Payne, yeah, he lives. In the show, the actor, I guess, caught cancer or something to that effect. Sorry, don't know his name. But yeah, they pretty much just wrote him out of the show. So I was at that point where I was like, he's still on Arya's list. That could add some more intrigue. So we brought him back in, and don't really discuss him outside of King's Landing, but he is still present. Yeah, what the fuck, Daario? Yeah. So as we know, yeah, Daario's the traitor. Betrayed Daenerys for love. Again, kind of a fulfilling of a prophecy. I don't remember the name of that prophecy off the top of my head. But I'm a big fan of prophecies, making them fulfilled, but not in a way you were expecting. So there's a few more prophecies in this show. Will they be fulfilled? Will they not? I'm going to kind of keep that to myself and let you guys figure that out for yourself. But I will say this. If a prophecy is being fulfilled, that is as cut and dry as it'll get with Daario. Everything else, I like to try to make it happen kind of in a roundabout way where you're not expecting it. I think Melisandre proved that to us, where how she says herself, prophecies can be a very inaccurate thing. So if you want something fulfilled word for word, maybe we should go watch Harry Potter or something like that. Alright, so that's the comments I wanted to cover. Alright, so the individual character review today will be Cersei. Alright, so how I interpret her character. I think Tywin's words rang true. She is very smart, but she's not as smart as she thinks she is. This brews a certain amount of arrogance in her character, and that arrogance would likely be her downfall. Hasn't yet, But her inner conflictions run very, very deep. She's fiercely protective of her family, but that same devout fierceness is the reason that she despises Tyrion, likely for his killing of Joanna. So in my opinion, personally, I think she's one of the bravest characters in the series. The only thing more important than her family's livelihood is her family's reputation. Again, likely an inherited trait from Tywin. Maybe. She would rather have poisoned Tommen than have the royal children paraded around at a victory parade by Stannis. Just an absolute, just incredible scene. Maybe this is an unpopular opinion, but I think her desire for reputation was likely inherited from Jaime, rather than Tywin. Jaime, for me, is the most interesting character, but more on him later. We'll talk about what makes Jaime Jaime to come in a little bit of a later episode. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this video up. In my closeout, again, always encourage criticism or even things you like. I haven't got much criticism, but I'm definitely open to it. Please like, comment, subscribe. I don't like to ask during the story videos because I don't want to take you out of the scene or the situation. I want you just to be able to roll from one to the other and actually just experience the story like I have. So again, thanks for listening, and please like and share. Comment, like, and subscribe. I guess I'll just ask again. Alright, we're going to wrap this up. We'll see you guys later.